everyone, I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Brandon. And we're the
Wagners. We're a husband-wife duo who travel all around the country since 2021 for Brandon's travel nursing job.
We love hiking, car camping, new cities, and of course, the best food and drink. Along with adventure, we always look for ways to keep our travel budget-friendly.
So pack your bags and join us as we wander together. Hiya, Wanderers. Welcome back to LA. I hope you're feeling a little wild today because we are going to the zoo. The LA Zoo is an association of zoos and aquariums, or AZA accredited zoo, located in downtown LA. The zoo is home to 270 different species that make up over 2,000 animals that live there. So the San Diego Zoo is larger, but one thing that we liked about the LA Zoo over the San Diego is there's a pretty clear path that takes you around the whole park. There's some asides, but they lead you back to that main loop, so it's pretty easy to know where you're going. There's a section that was closed for construction while we were there, but normally it's pretty easy to follow. So the LA Zoo has free parking and is a lot cheaper than the San Diego Zoo at $22 for adults, adults ages 13 through 61, 19 for seniors 62 and older, and 17 for children ages 2 to 12 and free for infants under 2. So we ate at one of the cafes, but outside food and beverages are permitted if you want to save a little extra money. Just note that glass containers, disposable straws, and alcohol are not permitted to bring in. So one thing that I really enjoyed about the zoo was talking to the zookeeper at the elephant habitat. She asked us if we had any questions and then told us a little bit about elephant behavior and communication. One of the elephants we were watching was flapping her ears a lot, and the zookeeper told us that that's a sign of happiness or contentedness. So it was really nice to learn about the animals with an expert. The zoo is open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and honestly, we arrived about 1 thinking we would have lots of time, and by the end we were a little rushed, so if I were you, I would try to get there a little closer to opening, as there is a lot to see and you don't want to feel rushed like we did. So when you first walk into the zoo, it kind of feels like a little town square with lots of cafes and restaurants and souvenir shops. Once you walk through and start seeing the animals, you'll notice that the zoo has a lot of really nice structures for optimal vantage points and lots of places to view the animals. If you were with us in the San Diego Zoo, you know that the main thing we look for in zoos, speaking strictly as consumers, is good visibility of the animals, and the LA Zoo does this quite nicely. Despite the habitats for the animals being quite large, you can still easily spot the animals in the exhibit. A lot of the habitats are open air and have glass instead of cages to promote both animal well-being as well as visibility for patrons. Another thing we enjoyed is the LA Zoo is also a botanical garden, so there are lots of crazy plants for you to look at as you meander through, going from exhibit to exhibit. This is something we've really been enjoying in California, is all the awesome vegetation that for us really transports us to exotic locations. As I mentioned, the park kind of makes a circle and the elephants are right in the middle of the zoo, and all the asides can be reached from that central point. So some other areas that you will enjoy are the lair, where all the reptiles are, and then the rainforest, which has exotic birds and big cats. And your little ones will probably enjoy taking a break at the playgrounds. If they want more entertainment, the zoo also has a carousel just for fun, and there is a theater that is not only fun, but helps both children and adults alike learn about our animal friends and how to do our part to keep them all thriving. So here were my favorite animals or features of the zoo. I know this may sound weird, but I just really loved all these big structures and bridges that they had built around the closures, so you really feel like you're like in a huge tree house in the jungle. I just thought it was really fun and such a creative way to see the animals and make sure your day is even more fun-filled. The elephants where we were watching were in really playful moods and kept playing with a big piece of brush and like throwing it on her head and making us laugh. We thought it was really cute that the giraffes had a little measuring stick on the side of their open-air enclosure so you could see how tall each one was. And of course, I know I already mentioned this, but we just love to see those open-air exhibits as much as possible, both for our own and the animals' sake. So if you don't want to make the drive or pay the steeper admission of the San Diego Zoo, but you still want to add a little wild to your trip, the LA Zoo is a great fit. So the LA Zoo has been at its current location since November of 1966. You can actually see the old ruins of the LA Zoo that used to be at Griffith Park. Apparently in August of 1966, The zoo location at Griffith Park was shut down because the cages were too small and the animals were outgrowing the space, so they transferred to the new location where it is now. So I guess I have to admit, in doing my research for this video, I very quickly stumbled upon an issue with the relocation, as well as a lawsuit from 2007 about the inappropriate care for elephants at the LA Zoo. So of course, as fun as it is going to the zoo, the care of the animals always needs to be top priority. So before I decided to do this video, I did a little digging about safe zoos to make sure that LA follows within those guidelines. So I found a blog from a wildlife zoologist that I'll link in the comments, but she lays out the difference between ethical zoos and unethical zoos. So of course, ethical zoos being the ones that care for the safety and the protection of animals as a first priority, and unethical is putting profit over health and safety of the animals and consumers. So the main factors of an ethical zoo include the AZA accreditation, large and realistic enclosures that imitate their natural habitat, and the bigger the animal, the bigger the habitat. Diets based on what they would eat in the wild, less behavior from the animals such as pacing, head bobbing, etc. No touching or extremely controlled touching of wild animals. Animals don't perform tricks. There is purposeful and controlled breeding of specific species, and babies are not taken from their moms, and infrequent pregnancies or births occur. And research is conducted, and there are education opportunities for patrons, government or nonprofit ownership with a board of directors, and educated scientists and veterinarians are permanent staff. So obviously, unethical zoos would be the opposite of this. So the blog that I was reading noted how the highway attraction zoos are almost always unethical. So after my research, I decided to check the AZA's website and saw that LA Zoo is in fact accredited, so I felt much better about making this video after that. That said, it did help me realize that since I love going to zoos, I should always be making an effort to do the research and making sure that the zoo I'm considering going to follows those guidelines and ensures the safety of animals. So it's actually very easy to check if the zoo you're going to is an AZA accredited zoo or aquarium. Just go to the AZA's website and you can easily locate all of the accredited zoos. So I'll be sure to be doing this in the future before going to other zoos and aquariums and in turn recommending them to you. So again, I would just like to remind you that I don't get paid to make these videos, so all of my recommendations are something that I did and enjoyed and are recommending to you. So I guess the big question is, since they're both accredited zoos, should you go to San Diego or LA? So personally, Brandon and I would have to recommend the San Diego Zoo. The San Diego Zoo is known to be one of the best zoos in the entire country and has very ethical treatment of animals, and it's huge and there are so many animals to see. So of course, in turn, the San Diego Zoo is much pricier, but check out our video on the San Diego Zoo to see how you can get discounts. Of course, since it is pricier and it is about 3 hours from the LA Zoo, if you're only in town for a little bit, you might not want to make the drive. But don't worry, the LA Zoo is still really fun, and either way, you're going to have a great time, no matter which one you pick. So thanks for coming along with us and getting a little sneak peek. If you want a sneak peek of the San Diego Zoo to pick which one you want to go to, you can check out that video on our channel as well. Have you ever been to either of these zoos? What were your favorite parts and which did you like better? Leave us a comment below. Thanks so much for watching and coming along, and please remember to like and subscribe so we can see you again soon. Bye! Next on Wandering with the Wagners, join us for a little slice of Denmark right here in Southern California.